started as us trying to solve a real problem, and regulators fighting us has opened up a lot of opportunities, both for fintech, both for financial institutions, both for banks, especially for Africans who want to connect directly with the global economy. And we have made it easier. We have made cross-border payments accessible.
It's my first time here, but it's good to largely find that everyone, or every small player, startup, innovator wants to partner with MTN. And you go through the door to meet the product team, and you try to tell them your idea and how can we take this to the market. The reality from conception to market rollout, you can just have all your products go through, and the regulators will come after you, like you just said, in terms of how the crypto market is. It's such a complex, compliance-driven process that we have compliance by design. So it's not a case of balancing innovation and compliance. So I'll give an example. A few years ago, there was a hailing platform service that was being developed, and they wanted to leverage our platform to scale. But the reality is that, of course, you as a startup, maybe a startup, you can incubate, you can ideate, and
we can segment sandboxes according to business life cycle, right? I like to look at businesses as human beings. So you're a teenager, you're a toddler, you're a teenager, and then you're an adult. So I think that applies to sandboxes as well, right? So segment sandboxes to suit the life cycle of every business, right? So it's not just a one-size-fits-all. So far, we've had a great experience, but I think this could also improve sandbox systems.
Thank you very much. Honorable Commissioner, please.
Yeah, so I also support sectorized, segmented sandboxes. I think one sandbox does not fit all. I prefer a co-creative approach of the rules of engagement of that sandbox. And then, the rules of engagement will also lead to things like how is data anonymized, in those sandboxes, because that's a requirement. But our approach and what we are looking at in the innovation bill is to actually mandate certain institutions to have sectoral sandboxes. So it could be the health sector, definitely would be a very different sort of sandbox to financial services, right? So, and perhaps some kind of mandatory budgetary allocation to also take care of that. So, but I think the approach to take is one that co-creates with the stakeholders in that ecosystem. What's the environment like? Like he mentioned, what would be the use cases? What are other sort of provisions around it? What technologies would be used? The time framing for, because there are some things you get results faster than others. So it's different things will fit different sectors.
Thank you very much. So bespoke.
Correct.
Thank you. So now this question I have goes to the regulators, Florence and Honorable Commissioner. So maybe Florence can go first. What are the practical mechanisms that can institutionalize dialogue between regulators and innovators? How can we talk more? How can we co-create more?
It's very important and a solid question there. Now, institutionalizing this dialogue. Can you hear me?
No, I don't. Move it closer.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, okay. So I was saying it's a fantastic question. We need to institutionalize our relationship. And that's because it makes us less reactive and more proactive. But it's very unique for an agency like the FCCPC. We've talked about sandboxes and the benefits of that and how it's a very relaxed environment that allows us exchange information and for you to get the feedback that you need. However, you have to understand that the FCCPC, for instance, is not a sector-specific regulator. So we're all over the place. And we found, just like Kudos said, that these sandboxes usually look at the operator and the sector-specific regulator. And so you're not getting a full-on feedback, especially from a regulator for competition and consumer protection. And when you understand the way the digital markets operate, it's very fast-moving. The very nature is very fast-moving. And I don't want to sound very theoretical. Let me bring it home a bit. I'm sure everyone knows that we carried out investigations in the digital money lending sector. We carried out investigations in platform markets with respect to Meta. And we found very quickly that these investigations take very long. And sometimes they take so long because the regulator was most likely not involved in the business model. And so in investigating a Meta, for instance, we had to try and understand what the business model was. When we were trying to define the market, you know, the business was saying, oh, you've got it wrong if you take a more narrower approach than, you know, a broader approach. And we said no. We had to look at the fiscal features, and we had to look at the geographic location where the effect was felt. And we had to start learning on the job as regulators. We were learning as we were doing the investigation. So it's very time consuming. But if regulators carry us, if businesses carry us along, and we're able to very quickly, in a less aggressive environment than an investigation, give you the feedback. It's also an opportunity for you to tell the regulators, be transparent with the regulator, and we can now and give us appropriate disclosures, and we can say, oh, okay, this is a great innovation, it's good for the market, and we can address the question of at what cost is this benefit to the consumer? At what cost is this benefit to the market? And we can address it there. And once we're able to address it, once your business model is adaptive, you're able to take on this feedback and you can adjust the business model. We've also had situations where a business says to us, oh, the way we've built this infrastructure, we can't divest or we can't break it. You know, and so that's the problem. You know, these are blind spots, and by the time we now want to address this blind spot, there's already a disruption and distortion in the market.
Thank you. Honorable Commissioner, please.
Thank you. You know, I always hear this saying that, you know, regulation is preventing growth and all of that. I think it's a misnomer. I think regulation is a double-edged sword. And I say that because just looking at the trajectory of how different industries have been birthed, even the telco industry, it was regulation that gave rise. The deregulation of that industry actually gave rise to the telcos that we have today. And if you look at the banking consolidation, the minimum capital requirements in the 90s, right, where banks were required to have at least 25 billion of capital base. Why did the CBN do that? To make the banks more sturdy. You know, and as soon as there were lots of mergers and acquisitions, it was, but in some circles, it was thought to be anti-innovative at the time, because the CBN's own philosophy was to protect the saving public, right? So they said, look, banks have to have a minimum capital base of 25 billion. And so a lot of mergers and acquisitions happened, right? Some banks failed, a lot of banks failed, some were swallowed up and all of that. But after that whole exercise, you started seeing banks in top 500 banks in the world, top 100 banks in Africa and all of that. They became much more trustworthy. And so what we need is common sense regulation, right? So I don't really subscribe to say that, oh, regulation is preventing growth. Actually, regulation can actually open up new areas of growth. And I I'm going to use one more example. You know, when paper money was invented, paper money, at that time it was an innovation, maybe in the 16th century when countries were moving from coins to paper. At that time in England, I think in the 16th or 17th century, every bank had its own paper money. Imagine the chaos that would have felt. So there wasn't any interoperability between, so some banks didn't recognize certain notes, right? But again, the Bank of England came, started consolidating, making rules and everything. Is it any wonder that the most heavily regulated industry in this, one of the most heavily regulated, is financial services. Yet, it's one of the most profitable and it's one of the most sturdy, right? So, I think professional associations have the responsibility of always engaging lawmakers, right? Because the average government official or lawmaker is thinking of providing services for the now. They are consumed with that. Right? They have little time to think about, the next 10, 15 years. So the professional associations have the responsibility. They are the professionals. They have the future in mind. They have the new technologies. So their job is to look, this is what you should be thinking about. This is what you should be legislating about. I go to lawmakers' offices, and really the people that are disturbing them are people that need things right now. And those are the people that voted them in. And so the professional people in the different fintechs and all of that, they have little time. So the professional associations should be telling them that, look, this is what you should be thinking about. This is how you should legislate. Those guys are now informed, and then they are now putting the common sense regulations that will drive the various industries forward. So I think there should be a very, very symbiotic relationship between the professional associations, lawmakers, and the government.
Thank you very much. We're almost out of time, so I'm going to ask the last question. And this goes to Ezi-Chim and Johnson. How do policy signals influence investor confidence and startup growth?
I think it's very important. I wouldn't want to invest in a country that has an irresponsible regulator. So when you think about, we have some VCs in the house. And when you're considering investing in a country, things you think about, top of it is regulatory risk, right? No one wants to put their money where it's going to vanish. So strong regulation, a steady and fair regulator is important for every economy. I think, just like you said, Commissioner, it can attract. It's a double-edged sword. And I like to use analogies. So it's, the regulator is like a parent. If you're too strict, you will stunt your children's growth. If you're too lax, you will destroy your children. But if you're steady, your children will grow up to be productive members of society. I think it applies to business. And at the end of the day, the role of regulator, the overall role of a country is to develop the country, right? And when you look at a country, it's like a business. So regulators are a part of that business. And the overall KPI, the overall mandate is to develop that country. So private sector have to work hand in hand with the regulators to attract foreign investment and development of the economy. So I think, yes, it's very critical.
Thank you very much. Johnson, you're taking 1 minute, if you can. Thank you.
I think I'll just use one word. Investors or capital will go to where there's regulatory certainty. So there are a lot of countries that, of course, will attract capital. So if the country risk shows that it's not favorable to invest, investors will not come there, right? And there are people who track this thing. So I think, like has been said here, so that we don't belabor the point, it's if the policy environment is not right, investment will not come. And I think we've seen some examples. And that's why almost every investor, worth its salt, came to Nigeria. Immediately they saw the right signal from the current administration. You see almost all the global tech giants were visiting Nigeria just to reaffirm, recommit to the nation simply because they saw the right policy signal. So it's very, very important. And to round up with this point, I think also, just for the regulators, I think so that the regulators are not so overstretched, we have to start to look closely at a risk-based approach to regulation, right? If not, we will continue to have this struggle between between innovation and regulation. So I think it's important that sometimes the regulatory tool may not just be issuing a framework. It may be just for you to watch and see if indeed there is a risk to deal with, right? Because not every policy should end up with a regulation. So, but generally speaking, I think currently we're on the right track. And if we collaborate more, we co-create policies, we move from the consultation approach we have today to a stakeholder management approach where you identify critical people that will be impacted by policy, we overall will do better. Thank you
very much.
Yeah.
So Johnson says we're on the right track. Regulators, we're on the right track. From what I hear, industry wants certainty, stability, and you want a risk-based approach to regulation as well. And the regulators want industry to carry regulators along. So as you are innovating, as you are thinking of those great ideas that you want to do in the future, engage the regulator. They want to be carried along so that they also are able to make common sense regulation, as Honorable Commissioner has said. So I think now it's time to take some questions from the floor. One or two questions, please. Anybody? Okay, that's... Two questions, yes.
Thank you very much, the panel, for your insights around regulation and innovation. I'm just curious about a publication I read in Nairametrics, and that was about a couple of years ago. And therein, the ambassador, US ambassador, was quoted as saying that 80% of Nigerian startups are incorporated in the US. So I was wondering, I don't know whether that number has changed anyway. Is it as a result of regulatory gaps in the country, or are there other requirements that will push, these startups to incorporate these businesses in the US instead of adding proper value and more value to the local economy? Thank you.
Thank you. Second question, please. Is there a second question on the floor? Okay, there's a hand at the back, please.
Oh, okay. So thank you. I'm Blessed Ola Saint, BHA Digital. My question goes to Honorable Alaki. Thank you, sir. So this just, I want to ask, is this voucher for startups possible for MSME? This is the reason. For most of the tech products, tech platforms that are available, because in Lagos we discovered that there is this kind of digital gap and engagement gap between the startups, this product, and the MSMEs, and sometimes cost. So I'm thinking, is it possible that MSMEs can access the voucher to have engagement with the startups? Perhaps it will help. That's one. Then number two, I want to ask again as regards I know that one of the success of LSCTF is because they are able to get to the grassroots, they work with the local governments. So, and some of the innovation projects and the states at the state level, is it possible to have a way of extension? For example, if we talk about all these hubs, we don't have hubs on mainland. You cannot use, if you live in Agege, you cannot use hub. So to them, they don't even know if there is voucher or if there are any innovation hub. So is there any way that your ministry can partner with the local government that we can have tech startups at the hubs that people can be able, in other places, be able to access? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honorable Commissioner, do you want to go first for your questions?
Can you hear me? Okay. Great. So let me just try and answer the first question. About 80% of startups being incorporated in Delaware. I don't know about that number, but a significant amount of startups are incorporated in the United States, and primarily because of accessing funds. There's a huge investor community in the United States, as we all know, and one of their requirements would be to register in funds, and that's just because of things like capital across borders, different rules regarding that, and just assurance of capital in itself. And then just because the venture market is better understood in the US, right? When you were looking at when interest rates in the US were near zero, there was a lot of cash. And I remember in 2021, about $1.7 billion in venture investment came into Nigeria. 80% of that was from Lagos-based startups. A significant amount of them were incorporated in the US. But again, just because there were low interest rates at the time, and so a lot of venture firms were flush with cash, were looking for where to invest. The next year, when interest rates rose, that number actually dropped. So primarily because of capital access. There are other reasons, but I think that might be for another day. The second question, question you asked, how can MSMEs get access to some of these benefits? Today, the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund, like you said, works with or has worked with over 400,000 entrepreneurs. And so MSMEs actually have their own special program as well in terms of training, capacity building, funds to expand some of their businesses and stuff like that. So there are actually programs for MSMEs. And then you spoke about accessibility to hubs, innovation hubs. Actually, there are hubs in the mainland that we support. Right? There are hubs in Yaba, in Maryland, in Agege. In fact, we partnered with, a couple of years ago, I think in 2021, we partnered with IHS. We opened a hub in Agege, right? And it was a hardware hub, actually. It's not far from the international airport, around the Dokpemu site. And so we opened a hub there. There's a hub in Ikorodu now. And so there are hubs on the mainland. So so people have access to some of these facilities. And our voucher program actually partners with these hubs. So if, for instance, you are in Yaba and you need access to a hub, say the Bulb Africa, for instance, which is in Djibouti, you can apply to the Lagos Innovates program. If you do get the voucher, you can redeem it at the Bulb Africa in Djibouti, and you can get access to internet and all of that. Same thing with the Sail Hub in Ikorodu, right? And so we have partnerships with all of these hubs, both on the mainland and on the island. So please, there are hubs on the mainland.
Thank you very much, Honorable Commissioner. I think that will be it for the panel. Please, a round of applause for my panel. Louder one, please. Haba. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Let's give it up for our wonderful panel and our very able moderator. That was very insightful. Thank you also very much. Please do take a panel picture, and if I could ask the partners of DOA to kindly join them on stage after they take their first panel picture. There will also be a presentation of gifts. I think we need to get a bit closer. Don't be shy, because otherwise it looks like there's too much space. Awesome. That was a very practical conversation on balancing innovation with regulation. Amazing. Thank you all so very much. Let's clap for them one last time. And thank you so very much for our panelists for being with us and our very able moderator for doing such a great job. I'd like to thank all of you for still being here with us today. You really could have been anywhere, but you chose to be here and we truly appreciate it. We are getting to what I would call the most exciting segment of today, which is the startup pitch competition. We'll be hearing from 4 different judges as well as several startups. And guiding us through this energetic session will be our very vibrant host, the ever-engaging Olamide Oladoyin, also known as Lamisco. Let's put our hands together for Olamide Oladoyin, who will be taking us through, oh, there she is. Looking great, as usual. Over to you.
Thank you very much. Can I have some volume, please? Hello. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the next segment, the next big bet, proudly themed Solve, Scale, Sustain. My name is Olamide Oladoyin, and I'll be your host for today's pitch competition. As part of the event for this year's TMT series, Duale Ovia and Alex-Adedipe is introducing the maiden edition of the TMT series pitch competition titled The Next Big Bet, Solve, Scale, Sustain, also known as TNBB. TNBB is a high-impact platform designed to spotlight bold startups and forward-thinking innovators who are tackling real-world challenges across technology, media, and digital sectors. The live pitches will showcase a daring breed of entrepreneurs building avant-garde, thoughtful, and scalable solutions at the intersection of technology, media, and digital innovation. Through this initiative, DOA aims to empower founders who are not just solving problems for today, but building resilient businesses that can grow and endure. TNBB is ultimately about betting on the future and backing ideas that are bold enough to shape it. We'd also like to thank our partners and sponsors who helped make this event possible. Your support continues to shape the future of innovation in our ecosystem. Today, we have 11 incredible startups that will be pitching for the grand prize of 10 million Naira. Are you excited? Because I am. 10 million Naira is not small money. All right, so without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to our panel of judges. I believe we need 2 more chairs, or are these for our judges, or are these? Okay, perfect. Oh, and we have our scorekeeper. All right, and we have our montage ready. All right, I'd like to invite our first judge, Iretsimikwo Kukoi, who is the partner of Calio Ventures. Please welcome our first judge. Oh, our first judge is, all right. We're going to move on to our next judge. Could we please have this montage for Samson Esumuede? Just hold your applause for 1 moment. We'll have the montage and then we'll welcome them up, please. Could we please have the montage for the Managing Director and Chief Investment Office for Zrosk Investment Management Limited? Oh, you're here. Thank you for coming up front. We just want to hear your bio because we hear that you're very important and you have all the money. You're the one giving the 10 million today, right? Or you're giving the 20 million. You're giving the 20 million, okay. I want to make sure that you're, I want to make sure that we get your bio. Are we ready? All right, it looks like we're just going to move on to our next judge, but please give Mr. Samson Esemuede a round of applause up front. Thank you very much. Next up, I would like to invite Ms. Yewande Adewusi, our next judge. Do we have Ms. Yewande Adewusi? Please give her a round of applause. She is the Chief Operating Officer of Alethea Capital. And without further ado, I would like to invite our final judge, who is Yomi Jemibewon, who is the co-founder and managing director of Cardinal Stone Capital Advisors. Thank you very much. I believe we have 3 judges for today then. All right, wonderful. So we have 3 judges at the table here. Is the 4th judge here now? Okay, the 4th judge will be joining. I will be notified when the 4th judge arrives, and I will introduce them. But for now, we have 3 at the table. We also have our scorekeeper here. I will let you know how this is going to go. Our judges have each been given a scorecard. There are 11 startups that will be pitching. Each scorecard has 10 categories. The judges will be given a pen, or each have a card with a pen. Please make sure they have their cards with their pens. Wonderful. For each of the companies, for each of the startups, and they'll be asked to rate for each category out of 10. I will let you know which are the categories. Each of the 11 tech startups will be asked to come up here, and they will be timed 5 minutes to give their speech, to give their pitch. And then the judges will have 2 minutes to ask questions, and the startups will have those 2 minutes also to answer the questions. After that, we will have 1 minute to finalize on our scorecards for the judges, and then switch on to the next company. So altogether, we have 8 minutes per pitch. 5 minutes for the pitch, 2 minutes for question and answer, and 1 minute just to finalize on the pitch. Here is what your judges will be basing their scores on, the judging criteria. 10 categories, each one is worth 10 points. Number 1, problem and solution fit. Does the startup address a clear, compelling problem? Is the solution innovative and relevant? Number 2, marketing opportunity and size. Is there a demonstrable market need? How large and scalable is this opportunity? Number 3, business model and monetization strategy. Is there a clear path to revenue? How well defined and viable is the monetization plan? Number 4, traction and validation. What traction, validation, or proof points exist to show market interest and viability? Number 5, team composition and execution capability. Does the team have the skills and capacity to execute the vision effectively? Number 6, innovation and differentiation. How novel is the idea? Does it stand out from competitors and offer a unique value proposition? Number 7, impact potential. What is the potential for the solution to create meaningful impact in its sector and beyond? Number 8, quality of the pitch and clarity of the presentation. Was the pitch clear, well-structured, and persuasive? Did it effectively convey the startup's vision and opportunity? Number 9, response to judges' questions, the question and answer section. How well did the startup respond to the questions and engage in the Q&A? Was the discussion insightful and convincing? And number 10, the overall impression and likelihood of success. Based on everything, how strong is the overall concept and execution readiness? What is your gut feeling? The judges will be giving their scores on the scorecards, and as soon as that pitch is complete and they finish their scores, the scorecards will be taken away from them. So they cannot go back and say, oh, maybe I liked this, maybe I didn't like that. They have to keep their scores as final. Our scorekeeper will tabulate everything, and then we'll be able to keep track at the end, and we will be announcing our winner. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause for Iretimikbo Kukoyi, who has just arrived, our 4th judge. Please welcome her. Please give her a round of applause. All right, are we ready? We have our first startup. Production, are we good? All right, like I said, there is a timer, so I will have my mic, and once I say time is up, please respect the time and make sure that you stop talking. Thank you. Without further ado, I'd like to invite Health Vest up to the stage to give their pitch. Once you are ready to start, the timer will start. Please welcome Health Vest.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kemi, and I'm the founder of Health Vest. This is the state of healthcare in Africa.
Please start the timer.
Especially Nigeria, in underserved areas. Actually, in 2018, I was posted as a physician assistant during my service here after reading human anatomy to somewhere like this. And that was when I saw the realities of healthcare disparities in Nigeria. It will surprise you to know that, please help. Next slide. It will surprise you to know that in Nigeria, 95% of Nigerians don't have any form of health coverage or health insurance. And 20% of the 30,000 primary healthcare centers are functional and not optimally. So the average Nigerian has two options when they're chronically sick. Is either they borrow to pay for healthcare, further pushing them below poverty, or they self-medicate or try to medicate, increasing the risk of morbidity and mortality. And that is why I built Health Vest. Health Vest Wallet is a USSD and app-based micro savings health platform that allows people, random Nigerians, pay just 200 naira daily to save for their health. The interesting thing is the wallet generates 12 to 14% interest per annum. So once the user has saved, they unlock low-cost health coverage based on their need. And some of the needs include the Mama Pikin plan. This is revolutionary because I don't know if you saw a video recently of a man who lost his wife because the hospital requested for 500,000 deposit. If the person had Mama Pikin plan, she had 9 months to save for her health care, from antenatal care to postnatal care and even delivery, as well as newborn vaccinations. The sickle warrior plan is for sickle cell warriors. In Nigeria has the highest burden of sickle cell in the world, over 6 million people. So this covers their monthly drug supplies, as well as crisis and transfusion support and management. The Papa Mama plan was created because we found out that 5 to 6 Nigerians have parents with NCDs like hypertension and diabetes. So this covers their monthly drugs, their testing and care. Then we created Health Vest AI. We discovered that people in rural Nigeria lack access to medical information. If you felt any kind of way, all you have to do is whip out your phone and go on Meta AI and say your symptoms, and you get something maybe before you go to the hospital. But this is not the case for people in underserved areas. Health Vest AI is a 24/7 toll-free medical advisor in local Nigerian languages. Just yesterday, we've been talking with the Gates Foundation to use their small language models so that people can hear somebody speak back to them in their local Nigerian language. The interesting thing about Health Vest AI is it triggers a rapid referral emergency system to the nearest health facility. And to fix the problem of infrastructure, at the moment, you can't give birth through tech. So we still need to fix the infrastructure deficit. And that's why we're building Health Vest Clinic. And by the end of Q3, we'll have our first Health Vest Clinic in Ogbomoso, where infrastructure will be fixed, workforce enhanced, and supply chain optimized. Next slide, please. The market size is huge, over 200 million Nigerians, no form of health insurance or health coverage. And our target audience are low and middle income informal sector, not typically covered by the current existing models. The business model enables us to make money through the recurring daily contributions. We put a portion of that in low investment financial instruments like mutual funds giving us some returns, and we also make money from the premium for the health coverage plans. What makes us different? 4 things. It is affordability and flexible payment, and it is targeted towards an audience that has been neglected by the current typical HMOs. The next thing is need-based health coverage. Nigeria is still going to take a while before we get to preventive medicine being a thing, so it's only based on what they need that they pay for. The holistic approach, fixing poverty through our interest paid on health savings and quality care. In less than 2 years, we've provided care to 1,000 plus Nigerians. We've won the Bayer Award for our innovation in healthcare, and 129 lives have been saved. By the end of this year, we would reach 5,000 users, and that will be 1 billion naira in revenue, with and after payouts to our providers, we'll be keeping 20 to 30% of that margin. What are we asking for? Please join us to change healthcare in
Nigeria. Thank you. Judges, over to you. Please use the microphone on your table. Could I please have 2 minutes on the clock?
Hi. Sorry, can you guys hear me? Sorry, can you give us some context around initial traction for the business? So how many savers do you have on the platform? And also some sense of how the revenue model for the business works.
95 people saving on the platform. We've pulled 30 million naira in the past 5 to 6 months. And the business model, when people save, that money is kept in the wallet. We invest that in low risk financial instrument like mutual funds, which helps us to share the profit from that. So the users get 12% and we keep the rest of that. Then when we pay out to providers, we pay based on an agreement, helping us to keep 20 to 30% of the total revenue that comes in for premiums for the health coverage. Does that make sense?
So the savings product and the insurance products are not bundled; they're separated. So the customers pay for the savings and the insurance product.
No. So the way it works is they save. Once you come in, the first thing is you start to save.
Yeah.
Yes, and then you pick the health coverage plan that you need out of any of the ones that we have. Once you pick that, we start to deduct based on what you use at the health facility. Does that make sense?
So it's not a health insurance?
No, we're rethinking health insurance. So it's not typical health insurance. So when we started with health insurance, but we had a complaint that our users were like, I did not use my money, and that meant my money was going. Does that make sense? So we had to pivot into this model, helping them save and make money while getting health care.
So how do I come into your business thinking I'm coming to save, right? And then at some point I have to opt into this health product. Again, how do I claim? So how do I know which hospital I can go to? How do I claim on this health solution?
So don't think about it as the savings first. The savings is a byproduct. Health is what we give, right? When you for a house, you can save for a car, you can save for healthcare. So it's the health coverage we're selling.
Okay.
Does that make sense? We're just helping you accumulate it because we discovered people don't have a chunk of money to pay at once for the typical HMOs, like 150,000. But a pregnant woman can save throughout 9 months and then she gets to access this coverage. Does that make sense?
Time, please.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think our time's up.
All right. Thank you very much, Health Vest. All right. So I'd like to welcome our second pitch. We're going to do our best to stick to the time just because we want to make sure it's as fair as possible to everyone. I know we have wonderful questions for the startups, but we want to make sure it's fair because there is 10 million on the line. I want to make sure that everyone has a fair chance at this. So the next startup I'd like to invite is MIHEI which is Maternal and Infant Health Equity Initiative. Please give them a round of applause. And as soon as you start, the timer will start. You have a timer over here in case you're concerned about the time.
Nigeria accounts for 20% of global maternal deaths. This means that 1 out of 5 maternal deaths due to preventable causes happens in Nigeria. We've created a solution. One that integrates the informal healthcare system with the formal healthcare system. Good afternoon, everyone.
I apologize. We're just going to ask for you to pause for a moment.
Okay.
I apologize. We didn't give the judges enough time to finish filling out their forms. Sorry. Do you want to step down, or are you okay with staying on the stage? You can step down for a moment, just so you're not in front of everybody. You will have your full time, I promise. Apologies. Could we have 1 minute on the clock, please? Thank you. All right, thank you. I do apologize for the rush there. I will be more cognizant. And I would like to invite the next startup onto the stage. We have MIHEI. Please give them a round of applause. This is Maternal and Infant Health Equity Initiative. Could I please have 5 minutes on the clock? Ready when you are.
Nigeria accounts for 20% of global maternal deaths. This means that 1 out of 5 maternal deaths happen in Nigeria. We've come up with a solution, one that integrates the informal healthcare system with the formal healthcare system. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chamaka Okeke, and I'm here on behalf of the Maternal and Infant Health Equity Initiative. MIHEI was founded in January 2024, inspired by countless stories of women in the perinatal period. Stories that highlight how the gaps in equity, access, affordability, and trust can negatively impact the lives of women and their infants. With over 7 million births in Nigeria annually, and over 70% of these women seeking care from traditional birth attendants, we felt like this was a good place to start. At inception, we conducted a needs assessment with over 1,000 women and 80 TBAs across Lagos State. And we found that 100% of them recognized that there was a need for more formal healthcare trainings. 78% of these TBAs saw the need to strengthen our healthcare referral systems, and less than 10% of women had healthcare insurance. This is how we came in. We developed an AI-powered referral tool. This tool more or less serves like an assistant to the TBAs. So it helps them to identify these danger signs during pregnancy, during labor, and postpartum, and to help them to refer these women to the most appropriate level of care during emergencies. We also came up with our healthcare insurance plans. We partnered with Hygieia HMO to curate tailored and affordable healthcare insurance plans that will cater to women and their families. We find that during these times of emergencies, when women are being referred to formal settings of care by TBAs, they tend to be reluctant to go because they are more concerned about the financial burdens that they would incur by going to the formal healthcare settings for care. So by having a healthcare insurance plan to fall back on, this would hopefully reduce that burden and also reduce the delay when it comes to referral. And to cater to our TBAs, we designed a curriculum to train them to up their skills. In February this year, we graduated 15 TBAs across 8 LGAs in Lagos State. These TBAs were trained on referral system, how to identify danger signs on time, and how and when to refer for appropriate care. And last week, we concluded a second cohort where we went into the We went into the communities and we trained over 300 TBAs across 8 LGAs in Lagos State. MIHEI is unique because our approach is community-centric. All our initiatives are developed in line with the TBAs. And we have built strong networks over time. We have partnerships with other NGOs, with the Ministry of Health and other healthcare providers. Our technology is scalable. It can be easily integrated into different settings of the healthcare system. The AI referral tool will also be integrated into WhatsApp because most of our TBAs are already familiar with this platform. So putting it into a platform that they are already familiar with would increase usability and effectiveness. To sustain our initiative, we have partnerships with NGOs and the Ministry of Health and other health bodies. The revenue from our HMO also goes back into our initiatives. It goes back into the building of and deployment of our AI-powered referral tool and into our trainings. By the end of, in 3 years' time, we are hoping to have expanded into the other 12 LGAs in Lagos State, so covering all 20 LGAs in Lagos State. And we are hoping to have integrated our AI referral tool into state-level health programs. The funds today will help us in the development and deployment of our AI-powered referral tool to also help us to scale into other communities across Lagos State and across other states in Nigeria. It will help us to boost our community engagement and our outreach programs, and it will help us with our monitoring and evaluation and our research. In the next year, we're hoping to have saved more than 5,000 lives by significantly reducing the delay in referrals. And we are hoping to have onboarded over 70% of the TBAs in Lagos State onto our AI-powered referral tool. MIHEI is not just another health initiative. It is a community-built, community-driven system, one that is built, that is not just centered around the community, around the TBAs, but we have built these systems with our TBAs, and with your help today, we'll be able to keep on doing what we're doing in Lagos and hopefully scale into other parts of Nigeria. Thank you.
Judges, please go ahead.
All right, thank you so much for that presentation. Just wanted to clarify, do you acquire the mothers through the TBAs?
Yes, we do.
Okay. So do they get any share of that revenue?
So upon the mothers, you mean, or the TBAs?
The TBAs.
Yes, they do. Yes. So upon onboarding of a patient referred by a TBA, TBAs get a certain percentage of the HMO cost.
What percentage?
We are currently doing 30%. Yes.
Okay. So how do you plan to move from 500 TBAs to, say, about 5,000? What's the strategy?
Yes, so currently we are partnered with other NGOs across Kano State, and we're also working with Ebonyi State governments to go into this area. So we believe strongly in partnerships. By partnering with people that are in the same field, also working in maternal and infant health, we're able to scale into these places and reach societies that we are here to. Yeah.
Okay. Final one, how did you go about validating the willingness to pay? I think you mentioned 35,000.
Yes, we did a needs assessment. So most of these women in the underserved community, I mean, some of them, yes, fall below the average earning capacity. But a lot of them actually have the money to go to the healthcare centers, but they go to the TBAs because they trust in them. Right? So we validated this by asking them, how much are you willing to pay? And funny enough, a lot of them are willing to pay for this healthcare insurance if they are doing it through a trusted organization or a trusted body. So that is why we came up with this. And we also partner with Hydra HMO, so that brings down the cost and makes it affordable for more people, more women.
So, sorry, just to double click on that. Are you saying these people actually pay 35K upfront?
Yes. Currently, we launched just last month, and we've had over 30 women reach out to us. Currently, we have 10 of them enrolled under our HMO scheme.
Time.
10.
Okay.
Yes.
Time.
Okay, time. Sorry.
Thank you.
I've never been in a pitch composition that the pressure is on the judges as opposed to them.
Apologies.
I think we need to switch this up. The pressure is like speed dating for the judges. Yeah?
We're just trying to make it fair so that it's even for everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you. Please give her a round of applause. Judges, you have 1 minute to fill out your cards. Thank you very much. Our time is up for our scores. Would we like to adjust it 2 minutes? Chika? So we're going to increase production. We're going to increase question time to 3 minutes, and we're going to increase judges' deliberation time to 2 minutes, please. Question time 3 minutes, and judges' deliberation time to 2 minutes, please. 3 minutes for questions, 2 minutes for judges' deliberation time. Thank you. And before we move on to the next contestant, I'd like to let you know that it would pay you to stick around.
I'm here to talk about PayU comprehensive insurance, which is affordable and very easy to operate, and you can onboard yourself, you can deal with it yourself.
Judges, are we ready? Scorekeeper, are we ready? Yes? All right.
Good day, everyone. I'm here to talk about PayU comprehensive insurance, which is affordable and very easy to operate, and you can onboard yourself, you can deal with it yourself, and you can have everything to do it. And one of the things that makes me to be using it for years is the fact that it's flexible, it's economical, and it's easy to use. With the way PayU works, all you have to do is you download the app, it's on Play Store, it's on iOS, and the moment you do that, you can onboard yourself. It's very easy to use, and after your onboarding, with your minimum deposit into your wallet, you can always turn it on and off at the same time. It's very flexible. You can be on a year plan, you can be on a monthly plan, you can be on a daily plan, hourly plan, or pay as you go, which is per minute. Take for instance, if I want to go out with this vehicle, all I have to do is do a 360-degree video of it, and I'm good to go. If I'm going out with this, I do the same, do a 360-degree video of it, and it's very economical. I decide when I want to use it and when I want to go about it. Like this now, this is a vehicle that is valued at 4 million. All I have to do is do a 360 video of it, and within an hour of driving, I pay less than 300 naira. And with this, which is valued at 15 million, within an hour of driving, I pay less than 500 naira. So it saves me a lot of money. Instead of paying the traditional comprehensive of 200,000 per year on this, 750,000 per year on this, I can actually drive not spending up to 5,000 naira a week. So it's very easy to use. My name is Toba Ali. I'm a PayU user. I choose PayU. Drive PayU.
No script, no professional cameras. This is the video we got from a customer of PayU responding to the question we asked, why do you use PayU? PayU is a pay-as-you-go comprehensive motor insurance that essentially allows car owners pay for comprehensive coverage while driving. There are over 10 million car owners in Nigeria who cannot afford to pay comprehensive motor insurance the way traditional insurers currently charge. So for example, like for Toba Ali, drives a 15 million naira car, he's supposed to pay 750,000. He has never paid that kind of money before, right? But with 5,000 naira a week, he can conveniently get comprehensive cover while driving both cars. And of course, there are well over 203 million cars across Africa, Latin America, and India that needs the same solution. So the solution is clear from what our customers have said. Affordability on the go. I can use it the way I want and however I want. Market size. There are well over 203 million cars across Africa, Latin America, and India, but we hope to reach 44 million car owners in the next 5 to 6 years with our solution. Traction. Yeah, so we've squashed all the metrics given to us by our regulator, which includes, because initially when we were to get regulatory approval, our regulator was scared that the premiums we collect, we're going to pay more claims than that. But we have proven that our claim ratio can be as low as 20%, even lower than the traditional insurers with 45%. We've had more than 25,000 hours cumulatively spent on the app. More than 7,000 times car owners have used the solution. Our solution is patented, and we're currently in Botswana. We're in a partnership conversation that should close in 2 weeks with Uber to power Uber cars while they're on Uber platform. Competition. We like to see competition as co-opetition, because in a couple of years down, we want to be able to be the switching platform for comprehensive coverage in Nigeria, just like InterSwitch for banks. Transaction fee, revenue. We make 40% of all premiums we collect. However, in a couple of months down, we want to be able to acquire an underwriting license so that we can retain 100% premium and, of course, be able to pay 20% projected claim. We're looking for 300,000 USD to be able to acquire 10,000 customers who will return 1 million USD in the next 18 months. We're currently backed by Patrick Kelan, Lagos Angel Network, and in Lagos Angel, Kola Eno, Olumide Shoyombo, Adeleke, Alex-Adedipe, Tunde, Salako, and Chike Asiodu are those who have invested. 54 Collective has invested. Zepri, Bimalab, Sovereign Trust are all technical partners. Hi, myself, I'm Adeyemi Temitope with 18 years experience within the insurance.
Thank you very much, sir. Please give him a round of applause.
Sorry. How long have you been doing this, and in terms of claims paid out, like what kind of experience have you had with?
Yes, so our total claim has been 20% claim ratio. That is the total amount of premiums we collected and what we've paid out. While even the traditional guys that collect premium for an entire year have paid an average of 40 to 45% loss ratio in the past, historically.
So from a regulatory perspective, the reason why the traditional people collect the money up front is because it's a regulatory requirement. So how are you beating that? Because if you have to front load, if you take, for example, Access product, when they say you can pay per week or per month or something like that, what they've done is sort of create a sort of loan type of situation. Therefore, they're paying the regulator 100% upfront, and you are paying it bit by bit. So how are you guys doing it?
They're paying the regulator what?
It's on paper, on the books. It's 100% has been paid, but you're paying it little by little. What's your balance? How are you
We are
managing
paying
this?
little by little to who?
The regulatory requirement is that it's like 100%. They haven't actually got a rule about this paying in little bits and pieces. So in the back end, they've created a system that, okay, we're sort of letting you pay little by little because they funded it. You know, they've lent it to you and they're paying, so your premium is slightly higher than someone who pays 100% upfront. So how are you, on your balance sheet, how are you funding this?
So I don't think I get your question.
Are you regulatory compliant?
The product is approved, if that is the question.
By
Nikon.
And how are you handling the fact that 100% should be covered up front? Because what she's explaining is for those that do the fraction, they actually lend that money up front and basically they are recouping it from you. But how are you doing that? Or that's a problem you're not aware of.
Sorry, who is lending? Well, I'm not.
The insurance company is actually paying ahead.
So maybe you should explain your business model. So the business model essentially is we take 40% of the premiums we collect, we give 60% to an underwriting partner who takes care of claim. I probably think that answers the question.
So how are you then able to achieve a lower premium relative to the
So number one is most insurers take cars that are grossly undervalued. That's even a conversation with that the AXA CEO mentioned earlier. So somebody comes to your platform, a car, because of devaluation, a car that should be valued at 15 million naira now, the person says, oh, I bought it 4 million. So on our platform, you can't do that. You have to, once you put in your vehicle number plate, it calls out the current market value of your car. So we are able to get the right pricing per minute from you.
What's your deal with Uber that you were mentioned in your pitch?
So we're currently underwriting, Sovereign Trust Insurance PLC is currently underwriting us. We're in a partnership with Uber, and AXA is onboarding for the Uber transaction here.
How many active users do you have right now?
273.
Okay. Active hours per user, averagely?
Active hour per user averagely comes to 8 hours.
8 hours per month, per week?
Per day.
Per day?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. 2 minutes on the clock for the judges, please. Don't forget, we have lunch after the pitches, after we find out who the winner of the grand prize of 10 million naira is going to be. A lovely afternoon.
So I think he doesn't know the right issue. So it's basically a middleman with the software layer. There is a middleman. It's been passed on to the code, and yet he makes the argument that the insurance premiums are lower.
All right. We are up with our 2 minutes for deliberation. Scorekeeper, can we move on? Wonderful. We will be moving on to our next startup. Production, are we ready? Next up, I would like to invite to the stage Okike Spaces. Ladies and gentlemen, please give them a round of applause. Your timer starts as soon as you start speaking.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Alex-Adedipe. I'm an engineer, creative strategist, and co-founder of Okike Spaces. Okike Spaces is a digital platform for discovering and securely booking spaces across Africa. We've launched our MVP here in Lagos, Nigeria, and we have the bold vision to scale across Africa. Next slide, please. So, we've been there. Chaotic Instagram DMs trying to book a space, whether it's for a photography session, a podcast, a meeting. You find yourself scrolling through Instagram for hours on end, trying to find a suitable space. It's chaotic, the terms and conditions are often unclear, the hours, the time frames, the responses are slow and can take a toll on you, especially as a small business or entrepreneur. So, how is Okike Spaces solving that problem? Next slide, please. We are offering verified listings, seamless booking experience. We're partnering with payment providers to be able to offer escrow payments. We're also ensuring that the space categories provided are flexible and tailored to the uses of people here in Nigeria and Africa, as well as a very comprehensive community and support. Next slide, please. So our business model is simple and tested. We take a percentage fee, which is 12% as a booking commission, 5% as a user fee, and in the future there will be added services such as photography, etc., which would also add to the business value streams. Next slide, please. The market opportunity. Here in Lagos, Nigeria alone, there are over 300,000 creators, our primary market, and small businesses who are in need of spaces regularly. With an estimated, let's say, 15,000 naira per booking, and with 5,000 monthly users, we estimate about 225 million in GMV. Next slide, please. So, how are we growing? Our growth strategy is lean and local. We're starting with Lagos. We're building our verified supply of spaces and users in need of the spaces, and we're driving demand through targeted community and business-to-business partnerships. Next slide, please. We've already validated the demand pre-launch. As I said, we're currently in the MVP stage here in Lagos. We have 50 signups on our wait list, 20 plus early stage hostess that have been onboarded already, and their spaces verified physically. And we have a pipeline of partnerships with creative hubs, payment providers, etc., that will be supporting in the vision. Next slide, please. Your support, your support will enable us to scale the product. So unfortunately, you can't see this, but our product development is around 35%. We plan to use this for the final UI, UX design, a full stack build, and integration. Marketing and user analytics is the 25%. Operations and verifications is 20%. Partnerships and growth, circa 10%. And contingency or compliance at 10% as well. Next slide, please. From idea to impact, Okike is laying the groundwork for how Africa is working, creating, and connecting. We're doing this through empowering creators, providing safer, verified spaces, offering micro-entrepreneurship and jobs, significant growth in the culture and economics within Nigeria and Africa at large, and especially for content creators in the diaspora who are looking to book spaces on return to Nigeria. We are a gap in the market. Next slide, please. So, join us. Join us in shaping the future of African creativity and entrepreneurship, one space at a time. Thank you.
So just wondering, how would you segment the kind of spaces you target, and in proportion of what would be the 80% or what would be the top? Yeah, You understand my question?
I think I understand what you're asking. So in essence, how are we deciding and segmenting the spaces that we're offering? Essentially based, oh, please go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what are the categories of segments and which ones will be the top?
Based on demand. So I think we've been having interviews with creators, entrepreneurs in our community to understand what type of spaces are they booking and what are their needs, as well as the type of spaces available, the type of spaces that we're onboarding. So essentially, as demand grows, so does the segmentation.
What's the research saying so far?
At the moment, a significant amount, I would say circa 35%, is content studios. So people are looking for things for podcasts, for creative workshops, makeup artists wanting to host, like an online class. So a significant amount are content studios, but also small businesses, entrepreneurs looking for places to shoot and create and put their business out there, essentially.
How did you go about validating the demand?
Reaching out to key players in the creative industry. You know, the creatives are our primary market, and then entrepreneurs and then other users, such as people who want to plan a proposal, for instance. So reaching out to key people in those communities and asking them, hey, we have something we're building. Are you interested? What are your needs? You know, so really listening from the ground up. And I think that's what differentiates Okike from other providers like Airbnb who provide spaces. We're very locally and culturally relevant. We're listening to the nuances of Lagos and the African market at wide.
So how do you scale this? Because if you're being very bespoke, like you just mentioned, and tailored, there's a reason why Airbnb and Booking.com is scalable. It's not tailored. You find what you want and keep it moving. So how would you scale this?
So I think at the moment, because obviously we're a startup, our focus is on the market that we have seen the most, the need for, essentially. So I think that as we begin to evolve, so for instance, through our research, we realized there are people, for instance, who are planning a proposal, and they have no idea how to begin to look for a venue for that. Or people, for instance, who want to have a meeting with a particular client, or they want to be able to shoot something on demand, and they don't have the time to scroll through Instagram for hours and go back and forth. They just want a marketplace, somewhere clear and easy for them to be able to access the spaces they need when they need them. So I would say demand is really driving that, essentially.
Okay. How would you address the intermediation concerns that would arise with a model like yours?
Yeah, so I should have mentioned at the start that my co-founder is a legal expert, so he has a particular nuances in compliance and things like that. So, oh, sorry, was that not the question?
Demand going directly to supply is what I'm asking about. Like people, so I book a space today, then I know the supplier and just go directly next time.
Time's up. Production, can we please have her mic turned on to answer the question for the 5 seconds?
No? Okay.
Yes.
Let me speak a bit louder then. So essentially what we're finding is that...
Your mic is on.
Oh, the mic is on, thank you. I lost my train of thought. Please ask me the question again.
So how essentially do you prevent your customers from going directly to the suppliers?
Yeah, so I mean, going directly to the suppliers means that you're losing that trust, you know, and I think that many of us can relate to, you know, being in Nigeria where you've booked a space or you've paid for something and it's not what you've expected. So at Okike, we're kind of bridging the gap between that, right? Because we're offering you that trust, that clarity, that communication, and resolving any issues if they are to arise. So I think it's also the community aspect, trying to build out a loyalty, should I say, with Okike spaces. So it's like create with Okike, you know, and ensuring that you're rewarded as you're booking those spaces. So I think those are some of the ways that we're kind of solving that challenge. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much, Okike Spaces. Please give her a round of applause. All right, judges, you have 2 minutes. All right, it looks like we are good to move on to the next. Could I please have 5 minutes on the clock? Five minutes on the clock, please. Next up, I would like to invite Crypter onto the stage. Crypter, please give her a round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, please give her a round of applause. It's not easy to come up here and defend your hard work. Thank you. Your mic is on.
Am I good now? Yes, I am. Hello and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Wando Ogo, co-founder for Cryptar, and I'm happy to be here representing my two other co-founders and the team. Okay, so Cryptar is the modern workplace's teaching hospital, and we're on a mission to be building Africa's competent workforce through real world. So I'm sorry. Yes, I'm not. You can't see. Can you see over there? And do you also have some typographical errors on your? Okay, so apologies for that. Not sure how that happened. Okay, but I'll speak to everything that you need to hear and know, anyways. Okay, so we're on a mission to build Africa's competent workforce through real-world AI-powered learning. Okay, and teaching. And I'll tell you why we have begun to brand and communicate ourselves as a teaching hospital. So in the world of medicine, right, when you want to become a surgeon, you don't learn how to do surgery through textbooks. You're in a teaching hospital, you're on the job, you're at the front line, you're saving lives from day one under supervision. And that's it for us. We say, look, for the problems that exist in the workplace, and it's about doing. You don't need people who've learned, because after all, we're turning out graduates, they're getting first class. It's about learning equals doing for us in the workplace. And this is the problem that we see. Can I actually request that we take down the slides, because I think they may actually be a distraction from the presentation, if that's okay. Yes, I'm happy to do this and just have a conversation with you all. Okay, apologies, and we can always send the document later if anybody would like to see the presentation on the slides. Okay, so we know the problems, right? We're turning out a lot of young graduates. We have a lot of 0 to 3 years professionals in the marketplace. With the JAPA syndrome, we also have a lot of what we have said, where our experienced workforce no longer available to MSMEs and even large enterprises, but MSMEs and SMEs make the bulk of the businesses on the continent. And the talent available to them will typically fall within the 0 to 3. But the problem is that you have quite a number of people in this demography, but they get into the jobs and they're not ready for the workplace. We found out that knowledge isn't the problem, it's having the competencies and the skills. And so Crypto is positioning to now then become the teaching hospital for the modern workplace, where we emphasize the doing element of this. And you say, okay, well, how are you doing that? First of all, there's the knowledge acquisition element of it, which can't go away. So we have our platform, we have our courseware, we're working with subject matter experts across industries and functions to get out those textbook type knowledge for functions, for industries, for roles, and we're doing all of that using AI to help with career matching, to do simulations so that people practice. But where we're actually focused on is that in our past lives, as I like to say, we're management consultants. So we're quite used to the doing, and we're quite used to understanding what organizations need. And so what we're now doing is ensuring that we are getting real work. So we've partnered with a sister organization to launch our work, learn, and earn model, where whoever's in the cohort is touching live work. Of course, all the permissions signed up, and all permissions granted. They're doing live work, and that's how they're learning. So, you're an admin person. That's how you're starting up your career as an admin exec. And you get to the job, you don't know how to construct an email, you don't know how to write a report, you can't come and create a deck for presentation. Go learn that at Cryptar and actually work on a project where you have to generate a current state report, or you have to do project defense or something, right? And then we take you back
into the workplace. So we do have our traction. We've been doing this for 2+ years. We've trained 1,200 people. We've worked with 30+ organizations. And for us, we're at the point where we want to scale and sustain, right? Just as the tagline says, we've seen the problem, we're figuring out solving it, but we're scaling and sustaining. If you'd like to learn more, find out about us at crypta.co. Thank you very much.
Judges, over to you.
It's unfortunate we couldn't see this. I actually find this very interesting. I have a few questions for you.
Sure.
Could you just give me a sense of your target, not market is not the question, your target.
The focus for now?
Yeah, your focus in terms of the candidates, number one. Also in terms of professions or roles. And then how do you actually inject them into live projects? Is it fractional? So if you could just speak to that as well as your team, because it appears you said we were former consultants. I want to get a sense of that as well. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Okay, so we're more business roles focused. So anything outside of tech is what I would say will be a good summary, a good idea to walk away with. Our focus right now will be anyone within 0 to 3 years of work experience. And so if you say this year, what market do we want to make sure we have really, really penetrated? It will be undergraduates, first graduates. So we're looking at final year NYSC kind of bracket, because we find that it is better to kind of catch them in that space where they're thinking about their career, but they haven't jumped into the workforce, and therefore they're not, let me say, distracted, or maybe they haven't begun to feel the pressures yet of the workforce, and am I earning well, and what am I going to? So they still are, we're still kind of weaning them off education, and we catch them at that point. So you said what functions and industries. That's a very interesting question, because we're talking about learning equals doing. We're currently focusing on 3 industries: hospitality, education, and retail and garment. Why? Because we're also interested in people getting jobs and powering African businesses. Those industries have a large potential for job creation, especially at entry level. So we're partnering with veterans in the industry, in hospitality, in education, and in garment, to create their own versions of teaching hospitals, and then of course open up the pipeline for the demography that we're targeting and focusing now to get hands-on experience with work.
Yeah, so what is the story of the 1,200 people that have gone through the program over the last 2 years? Okay,
so out of that number, we have about 75% job placement, and that's whether they came to work for us, because if you're cooking something, you have to taste it as well, or whether they've gone to work on with clients. That's the story. And I can give you like a journey, and this journey it's not storytelling. I'm summarizing the actual lives of people who have joined the program. So from a chef to now being the lead in the strategy team, so working directly with the founder of the business in a leading Nigerian IT solutions business. From an admin person in his church to now becoming the chief of strategy for a very, very prominent security group. That's typically the pathway. And that's because our flagship product democratizes what we call, what we say is generalists, right? And so when I make reference, and there's a last point of his question that I wanted to address the team. I'm going to address that with this, right? When I said in our past lives with consultants, it's because we're doing management consulting, and then we saw this problem, and we kept on coming back to the problem of people don't, you hire people.
Sorry. How do you make money? Can we just...
case, you're paying for a subscription to learn. We have the cohort model where you have access to content, you have a cohort, you will learn live. You also service enterprises. So we have quite a lot of requests from enterprises where they're saying, private train that workforce, or let's get this number of people on the cohort. So there is the business transformer and business.
Thank you very much. All right, judges, we need a few minutes, a minute or two. Scorekeeper? We'll put 2 minutes on the clock. Could we have some background music, please? And thank you. No music? No music? No elevator music? Thank you. Scorekeeper? All right. Next up, I would like to invite Lenda onto the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, please give Lenda a round of applause. Can we get 5 minutes on the clock, please? We love a traditional outfit. Lenda, your time starts as soon as you start speaking.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Peter, and I'm a co-founder and CTO at Lenda Technology Limited. At Lenda, we provide access to flexible microloans to small businesses. We have a particular focus on women-led businesses. That does not mean that we don't lend to other people, but our focus is on women-led businesses. Now, we are trying to build the financial operating system for offline SMEs in Africa. What this means is we are building a base from which all lenders will operate. Now, let us look at the problems. We have a very large financial inclusion gap in Africa. 40% of people report that they have no access to formal financial services. Of that number, women are the hardest hit. We have only 15% of women reporting that they hold a bank account. This was in 2018, so it's not too long ago. This is even further exacerbated by a 2023 report that states that only 47% of women were able to access formal financial services. For men, the figure was higher, 58%. So a lot of work needs to be done, and that is where Lenda has stepped in. Now, these people we're talking about are the backbones of the Nigerian economy. They provide 80% of employment, and yet they are overlooked. 6 out of these 10 SMEs close shop every 18 months because they don't have access to the much needed finance. Now, what solutions are we providing? We have leveraged alternative and sophisticated data mechanisms to be able to determine if we're giving loans to these individuals or not. And we are not selling a pipe dream. We have a 98% repayment rate. Now, we have also built out AI solutions. I fear to use the term AI because it's now being too used. And that proprietary algorithm is what has given us our 98% repayment rate. For better context, right, in the market, only the fall-off rates or portfolio at risk for other businesses, other microfinance businesses, is 12.7%. And that is as of June 2024, last year. So we're doing very well. For traction, we have given out as much as 2 billion naira in loans. And of that 2 billion, we have a 98% repayment rate. So our solution is tested and works. Now we're looking to unlock the 300 billion plus African markets. We are not only looking at Nigeria. We made a trip to Kenya last year where we collected insightful data, and we hope to expand to those markets. And that's why we are here. So this is not very clear, but I'll still improvise like the last speaker. Now, how do we make money? Our monetization strategy is a model of high volume and low margins. So we make money, in essence, from the loans given out. And we have been doing this successfully by bootstrapping. Now, who are the other people we have in the market? We have several businesses like OPay and the likes who have gotten into the space, giving out loans. We have several businesses like Advance, more traditional businesses, but they do not offer what we offer. And this is evidenced by the numbers I gave earlier. They have a 12.7% portfolio at risk. Now, we also offer a lending as a service, and that is a system that we've built out and we're currently using.
Time. Thank you. Judges, over to you.
All right, thank you so much. Of the 2 billion you mentioned, what period of time does that cover?
So we've been operating from 2020, so we survived COVID. We were profitable from the first year, so 5 years, yes.
Okay, do you lend off your balance sheet?
Yes, we do.
Okay. How do you intend to scale that?
So that's why we're here. We are raising funds for greater market penetration. We started from 1 location, and we are currently at 4 locations. So we've been scaling, but we've been scaling as our balance sheet allows. So that's why we're aggressively fundraising to allow us to go faster into other markets.
Do you have any debt partners?
Yes, we do. We have some debt partners who provide debts for us, and then we repay.
What's your major differentiation
from
other businesses doing the same as you?
So we don't do the same thing as these businesses. They give out loans. We are more of an aggregator. So we give out loans, but we also collect information that would allow us to have these competition as our users. We have built a loan as a service, and we are hoping to migrate these people onto the loan as, because we have awesome numbers, like I said.
She wants you to explain that. But I think in explaining it, as a potential borrower, what's the cost of your financing to me, and what's your cost of capital?
All right, so we do 6% per month. Now, for those who are not familiar with the Nigerian market, they will be like, what? We had some foreign investors they were talking to, and they were mind blown because their economy is 1%, 2%. We do 6% per month, and we do a weekly repayment product so that we don't handicap the users, which is also why we focused on businesses, because they can afford to make that money and repay easily.
So, by the way, that's what it costs me to borrow from you.
Yes, that's
right?
correct.
What is your cost of capital, and how are you able to be, because that's even high for some lenders, right? So how are you providing lending as a service if you're charging that high?
So we are currently not providing lending as a service to other lenders yet. We are providing it to people like schools, hospitals, businesses like that. But because our solution is so good at determining drop-off rates, willingness and capacity to pay, we are looking at expanding into those lending markets.
Sorry, the 2 billion you talk about, is that the gross loan that you've given out since 2020? What is the value of the book today?
2 billion is the total amount of loans disbursed.
So what is the value as of today? What is the value of the book?
Well, we lend off our loan book, so I can't give you exact values, and we have a 98% repayment rate. So if you do the mathematics, you understand where we are.
No. But you must, I mean, these are short duration loans, right?
Yeah.
So do you have 2 billion of loans outstanding today?
2 million.
2 billion.
So we have about $2 million thereabouts. I'm sorry, I'm trying to remember the exact figure. As at last month, we did 100 million.
No. So
between last 2 months
maybe
and last month.
should. So since your inception, you've basically given out 2 billion worth of loans.
That's
right.
Correct.
Okay. As at today, what is the total loan outstanding that you have in your books?
I would say, since we lend off our loan books, outstanding loans as at today would be, just for this year, first quarter, second quarter, I would say 300 million.
Time.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Two minutes for the judges. All right, we're getting closer to the end here. I am getting excited because the closer we get to the end means the closer we are getting to announcing the winner of the 10 million. Judges, are we ready to move on to the next contestants? Yes? Okay. Please welcome to the stage EJ. Give them a round of applause. EJ, your time starts as soon as you start speaking.
Hello everyone, my name is Favor, co-founder and Chief Product and Technology Officer of EJ. If you are wondering what EJ means journey in Igbo, and thanks to the presenter for pronouncing it well. 9 out of 10 Nigerians are interested in studying abroad. Financial constraints remain the major impediment. This is something that I can relate to, and I bet a lot of people can also relate to it. Congratulations to those who can't. Our research shows that 73% of the surveyed migrated through study. 59% found partial employment while studying. 43% found employment within 6 months post-study. And an additional 31% found within a year. The global international education will see major expansion by 2030. International students will spend $433 billion annually acquiring education by 2030, a figure double annual spending of 2019. 6 to 9 million internationally mobile students will enroll in foreign institutions by 2030. Guess what? Africa is leading that. Africa, along with Asia, is expected to be source of the most demand for international education. And that's why we built EJ. EJ is a web-based co-financing platform that allows young Africans to combine credit and support from family, friends, and the EJ community towards their postgraduate education in Europe and North America. Who are our competitions? Our competitions are the big boys globally: Empower Finance, Prodigy Finance, Leadwise, and many others. But guess what? None of them is focused on African students. Majority of them are focused on, residents of the US, Canada, and some of them Indians. Nobody's really focused on African students. And that's where EJ comes in with our co-financing platform. How do we make money? We charge 2% origination fee on total amount raised on our platform, 1% management fee annually on outstanding loan amount, 24% interest per annum, and we see a world where we can have direct partnership with universities and also get 5% in agency fee for referring students to universities. I believe that we're the best team to build this. With Temitope Adeyemo leading the team, he's CEO and he has 14 plus years experience in financial services. Director of .AI Bank, ex-director .AI Bank, ex-GT Bank, and an MBA from Imperial College. And then there's me driving product and technology with experience in payment, lending, and very recently, health tech. There's Fumi Lola leading finance and operations, Damisil leading engineering, and Mary, one of the most detailed people when it comes to risk. Our focus remains on building a sustainable, high-impact global financial institution that provides long-term value to students, lenders, and investors. We will position for acquisition by a major financial institution. We believe that in the next 5 years, all of these big boys want to expand to Africa and want to be positioned well for an acquisition. Our ask is, in addition to the 10 million naira, we want $250,000 for a 10% equity at a 2.5 million pre-seed valuation. Thank you very much for listening.
Hi. Clearly, the need is there. How have you thought about underwriting this, right? I think it's very focused on dispersing the loan and earning on disbursement and upfront. But at the end of the day, I think you have repayment is 6 months to 10 years or something like that. I think I saw that. Like, what is the trust factor there, like, and the underwriting?
Okay, our risk assessment is very deep, right? Yes, our risk assessment is very deep, right? So we've onboarded, I don't know if I mentioned, but we onboarded over 250 users. About 10% of them are verified. What it means is that they can get credit from us, right? Out of the 20 thereabout, we funded all of the 20 people with $80,000 spread across the 20 people. Now, it will surprise you that most of the people we funded are currently in the UK, people that cannot exactly balance their tuition and are looking for somebody to support them. They do have a job of paying, they have a job, they have a means to pay, but they don't have that large chunk to pay their tuition. And out of 20 of the students that we funded, about 15 of them are currently in the UK, and we funded them. And so far, we've had a 100% repayment rate. My co-founder used to joke and say, it is very early. In our second month, he said it's very early. We're in our 8th month, and our repayment rate is still 100%.
You will always get people that want loans. And you will always get, and I think in your pitch, when they're going to school, they have to finish their degree, right? Or they got to finish a semester. So 8 months is not, you don't know anything about what other loans will perform yet. You will start knowing in about 3 to 6 months.
No, that's so what we do is we already have a way of assessing them, again, for the people that we funded. So most of them already have jobs. We have people that are currently repaying and still in school. They have part-time jobs. So the reality is, part of what we collect to assess them are their bank statements, right? So we've already reviewed and we say, this person can actually start paying immediately. You know, maybe £20, £50 on a monthly basis, right? And it is, again, as I said, 100% repayment. There's a world where we've also done it in such a way that we see that some people might not be able to pay in 12 months. They might not be able to pay in 1 year, in 2 years. You know, so the range is between 12 months and 3 years. You know, and for some people that are currently in our system, they will not start to pay until 3 months time. So we give a 3-month moratorium for some people, while some people can afford to pay immediately. All of this just goes back to how we do our checks.
What's your average loan size?
Very interesting question. 5,000.
5,000. Okay. So, I mean, to Yomi's point, it's still quite early, and it's not even the full amount of the course, right? It's just a part. Like, is it like a bridging loan? Mom and dad couldn't send me my pocket money on time, or something like that, so I need a bridge, or is it for school fees? Like, because school fees has a deadline.
Yes.
It's a hard stop deadline to be paid.
Yeah, very correct. So it's for school fees. As I said, 15 out of 20 students that we funded are already in school. So they've paid 50%, as deposit or whatever. They need the balance.
Time.
And that's where we fund them.
So how did you acquire these 15? Were they direct acquisitions? And how do you plan to scale that default or no default rate as you get incredibly more people?
Time.
I think that's a very interesting question. We're currently partnered with global companies, payment companies like Stripe, right? So we have a direct deposit mandate set up on the account of everybody that was giving loans to. So we don't have to manually manually ask for the repayment. It is automatic, right? I think your first question was. All right.
Thank you. Thank you so much, EJ. Please give him a round of applause. All right. Stay tuned. We do have lunch waiting for us. We are going to get through the last few as quickly as possible. We will do our best to stick to time. We have 5 minutes for the pitches, 3 minutes for the judges' questions, and 2 minutes max for the deliberation. Scorekeeper, please let me know once we are done with the deliberations. We're ready? All right, I would like to invite our next contestant onto the stage. We have Zipama. Please welcome Zipama onto the stage. Your time starts when you start speaking.
Good day, beautiful Gen Zs, papas and mamas in the building this afternoon. Good day. My name is Alex-Adedipe, and I am the founder of Zipama. If you guys picked it up, right? So Generation Zs, papas, and mamas, right? That's how we formed the name Zipama. And we are doing something quite simple. We are solving for SAPA. SAPA comes in different forms. It could be, hunger. It could be not having money. It could be not having health insurance. It could be, it comes in different forms. And how we're solving for it is we're converting our steps, the steps that we take on a daily basis, into a commodity. Meaning that we're trying to make the steps, our walking steps, we're trying to make it into something that is valuable and exchangeable for goods and services. Now, how do we be doing that? We'll be doing that using different infrastructures which we're building in our tech company. We're building a dual application, right? A mobile app that will track the number of steps that users take on a daily basis and convert it to a point system that is exchangeable. As I said, the app is going to come in two forms, one for the public and one for the security infrastructure. We're also going to build, our smart watches, our smart rings, our smart glasses, which would help users track the number of steps that they take on a daily basis. And all of this, as I was saying, will be gamified, meaning that, walking will become something that is interesting. So this is the screenshots of the apps that we have, built. It's currently on my phone, although it's not available to the public just yet. So yes, you can see the different screens here where it shows the home screen, where the user starts walking and then it starts counting. And, at the end of the day, you see who's walked the most, which is like challenges, makes it interesting. Boy, I walked more than you today. You know to walk like that today. There's also the security feature, as I mentioned. While you're walking, if you see like an accident on the road or someone comes to harass you or anything like that, you can drop like an emergency red flag, which goes to the app of the security agencies like the Nigerian police or NCDC or whatever the case may be. So this is the screens for the security agencies. Brands, as I said, will be able to redeem your coins for things within their ecosystem. So they want to launch a new product, they can use our walking platform, to set up these challenges. Minus the fact that we're solving for extreme poverty with this and hunger and stuff, and security. Let me quickly take us to the money aspect of things. As I said, to track our steps, it's not just the app. We're also going to build like our smartphones, our smart watches, our smart glasses. In terms of financials, so we have like our short-term goals to make money. With just our Zippo Fit watch alone. First of all, let me even mention that just 3% of Nigerians have these Apple watches and Samsung watches. Many of us right now do not even have it at all. It's something that is very, 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 very new. They are very, very expensive. I mean, the Apples and the Samsungs. But ours is going to have 3 price tiers. So the lowest price for ours will be between 12,000 naira and 18,000. That's for the basic ones, basic entry-level smartwatches. The next tier will probably be like 65, and then the upper tier will be like 160. If we look at the student population alone, if you look at NYSC alone, right, over 50,000 NYSC students graduate every year. If we sell, 40,000, actually from this estimate, right, 14,000 smartwatches will be clocking over 1 billion naira in revenue. And as I said, just 3% of the Nigerian population owns smartwatches. And if we're able to sell just 14,000, we're already clocking 1 billion naira in revenue. Imagine what happens when we're doing, 140,000, 1 million. So that's our short-term model of making money using Zipama. And by that time, right, our app would already have gained traction, would already have had people over 1 million users downloading the app, and the whole software part of it now begins to
Thank you.
come into play. So yes, very much so. So
time. Thank you very much. Judges, over to you.
Thank you. Please, can you go over the problem? What exactly is the problem you're trying to solve?
Okay.
Yeah.
So I like to term it SAQA because SAQA is something that everyone can relate to in Nigeria. This is a specific problem. When you are extremely broke, excruciatingly broke, you don't have that urgent 2K to get yourself around. As opposed to having to go beg somebody. You could just, once you have the app, you have your smartwatch, get up and get a run. It's good for you anyways. You know what I mean? Get up and get a run around, do your thing, you know what I mean? Earn some points. At the end of the day, those points that you earn, you'll be able to redeem it. You know what I mean? As in for something, somewhere, through one of our partners. That's one of the challenges, right?
How did you validate that partners are willing to convert the points?
All right, so we have, I'll call them inspiration, right, from
Sorry?
products, inspirators, from products like Sweatcoin, from StepN, that have these solutions already in America, that are valued at tons of
But you
millions
haven't
of dollars.
engaged with actual partners.
Actually,
on the
we
ground.
have. Actually, so we did. We went to University of Technology, Akure, that's FUTA, where we did our feasibility study. And right now, we have a waiting list of over 5,000 students that are, actively waiting.
Can you give me an example of a merchant or business in Nigeria that will give value for people's steps?
Well, let's even start with the most popular telecommunications company, MTN. Definitely, it's for them, I'm sure they will see it as some sort of CSR through which they're able to reduce their taxes, because if they give, some reward to people for working, perhaps to promote a certain new product, and they spend an X amount of it, that amount can be written off in terms of their taxes.
Okay, do you know how many people just walk across Nigeria?
Well, plenty.
Yes. Do you think if MTN was giving value for walking, do you think they will be able to
So
survive?
it can be like regionalized, or like sectionalized. Okay, one last thing. If you don't notice our logo, right? You see our Z drags all the way to the M. That's emphasizing the powers of mothers, mamas, in such huge, effort as this. And obviously, we're not forgetting our papas and obviously our Gen Zs. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Zipama.
Zipama.
Thank you very much. Judges, you have 2 minutes to deliberate. So we are down to our last 3. I would like to invite the next contestant to the stage. Are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Cred Bevy. They have 5 minutes. Cred Bevy, once you start, your timer will start.
Hi, good afternoon. Good afternoon, judges. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Oripaloe Timleyi. I'm the CEO, co-founder of Cred Bevy. And to simply put, we empower dreams one loan at a time. The problem we're solving, the problem we're solving basically is loan accessibility in Africa, individuals and also businesses. One of the major problems that businesses have or lenders have, also sorry to go back again, we are a loan marketplace. We connect pre-vetted borrowers to lenders. We don't directly offer loan or disburse loan to borrowers. We are a loan marketplace, so we connect borrowers and lenders together. The problems that lenders have, one of the problems is inefficient vetting, meaning lenders don't have, enough or a very solid vetting system to vet people that they give loans to. And of course, the quality of the people they give loans to also determines the quality of repayments or whether or not people are able to repay the loan. Also, lenders face high risk, which is high risk of default in cases of loans, and also poor matches. Poor matches means that lenders they are matched with people. For instance, if you apply for a loan, a lender basically just do some bit level of KYC on you, and they decide to whether disburse the loan or not. But with Cred Bevy, the solution we are providing, is a proactive screening, meaning everybody that downloads the Cred Bevy app, we pre-screen you, we pre-vet you, we do our KYC, we do onboarding on you. So we verify you, we analyze you, and then we match you with lenders on the platform because it's a loan marketplace. We have multiple lenders. We match you with lenders that fit your financial profile because everybody sort of have a form of financial profile that we do on them. So on the lender side, they create a loan product. They create the parameters or the requirement for the loan product. For instance, they say I'm looking for a borrower or an individual that has maybe 600 credit score, we make sure that people with 600 credit score only, for instance, if that's one of the requirements, are the people that get to see the lender on their mobile, on their mobile app. So they only apply for lenders that they've met their requirements before, right? And also for the lender side, they only see people that have met the requirements that they set. So they are not getting barrages of loan, they are not getting just loads of loan, and they have to filter through all those loans before they can find credible options. So we are preventing them. We are taking a major chunk of the headache and the stress that they would normally go through. We would also be saving them a lot of cost while doing that. Also eligibility matching, right? With our AI, we match borrowers only with lenders. I've explained this. Sorry, next slide. The market opportunity, of course, there is rapid adoption of the digital finance and mobile first users. Nigeria also has a gap of over $100 billion, in the credit space, both across individual and SME loans. Also, opportunity to expand across West Africa and other emerging markets. Sorry, next slide. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. All right. I think I'll just move on from here. So, of course, we have our team. I'm here with two of my team members, Ifemide and Juwo, my CTO co-founder and our financial advisor. And then we have other members of the team currently streaming the meeting online. Sorry, I think the thing has gone off, sorry. So I think the TV is up. Okay, sorry. All right, so traction that we have ongoing conversations with lenders, commercial banks, microfinance banks that we intend to partner with as our league, as part of our league of lenders to offer credits across border. Sorry, I'm having to press this thing multiple times, sorry. All right, our competitive advantage is our proprietary AI model that we use to fine-tune for local credit behaviors. Also, one of our advantages is that we would be the first to market on this kind of product in Nigeria. Currently in Nigeria, there is no loan marketplace, something that you can look at like a Jumia, like a Jumia for loans, where you can just go, you shop for loans that fit your exact financial profile. You can decide to choose what interest rates you want, because lenders are going to create different products with different interest rates, different duration, and you can choose the one that you are more comfortable with. Thank you.
Have you launched? No.
2 minutes on the clock, please.
No, we are not. Yes. So we have meetings, multiple meetings with lenders that because we need the lenders actually to be able to launch the product. But we've been having ongoing meetings with lenders,
How
commercial
long have
banks.
you been working on this for?
A year plus now.
What is your differentiator
from
the other players in the market? What's your differentiation?
Yes, so what we offer, like I said, we are a marketplace. We don't directly offer to the listing, but we are taking care of, for the borrower, for instance, we give you the option of choice. You have choice to choose different offers
So
that are available to
effectively,
you.
you're showing different loans and different borrowers and different loan. You're showing on one side different available loan options and different borrowers, correct?
No, so on the mobile app, maybe I should explain this. On the mobile app, if you go to, you want to book a loan, you would go to offer, you put the parameter, the loan you are looking for. Let's say I'm looking for a 20,000 naira, 50,000 naira loan. I put the interest rate I'm looking for, the duration I'm looking for, and I click go to offers. It's going to bring to me different lenders that we have previously onboarded that have those requirements set out.
So I get it. One of the things I saw that you're building your own KYC. Are you building or are you leveraging existing ones?
We are leveraging and we are refining what we leverage.
Okay, good. That was my question.
Oh, okay, no problem. Thank you. All right, thanks.
Any further questions, judges?
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Cred Bevy. Judges, are we ready for the next contestants? Yes? All right, we will have the second last contestant. Please welcome to the stage, Dora. Dora, your time starts as soon as you start speaking.
Hello, everyone. My name is Emmanuel Chinatoka. I'm co-founder at Dora. Local logistics companies powers the e-commerce market. Local logistics companies powers the e-commerce industry in emerging markets. Yet, over 90% of logistics companies are running their operations manually using pen, paper, and WhatsApp channel. As a result, they are error-prone, slow, and difficult to scale. As we've solved this problem at Dora by building an affordable logistics management tool to help delivery businesses, restaurants, and supply chain managers to assign their delivery. We've solved this problem by building an affordable logistics management tool to help restaurants, delivery companies, and supply chain managers to assign and track their deliveries. No complexity. We've had, oh God, great. So with Dora, local logistics companies can process thousands of customers' orders with a click, and they can assign these orders to their riders and keep their customer informed at every step of the way. Our business is booming. Since our launch in February, we've grown 202% month on month, 300 plus logistics businesses on board, 29 paying customers, $10,000 enterprise deal, $30,000 annual deal in the pipeline, 40 million naira gross merchandise value, and we are not a delivery company. We build software infrastructure to help delivery businesses manage their orders. We project over 4 points. Oh. We project over $4.2 million in revenue over the next 3 years, targeting 5,000 businesses, and with an average of 9 deliveries per business per day. Our customers love us because we help them eliminate the high cost of setting up custom management systems, and providing by saving them 25% operational cost, and providing them an active tech-driven collaborative communities, and to help them shape their customers' experience. This is a huge market with multi-billion-dollar legacy players. And we believe that software infrastructure is the right way for us to enter this space and scale our business. We are the most affordable company in our space with 215 naira average service fee, 20,000 naira subscription fee. They gain access to effective system to shape their operations and the experience of their customers. Our users have gone through our active communities, online meetups, webinars, word of mouth, and cold calling. And they choose us over our competitors because of our superior customer support, effective system, simplicity and affordability. Our business model is working. My co-founder has led $200 million in transaction, built systems that are scaled to tens of thousands of users across Australia, and he has managed dozens of engineering teams. Over the last 7 years, I have managed an automated operations and business workflow for companies in logistics and e-commerce. The future of logistics in Africa will be unsuccessful without a software infrastructure. This is why we are building Dora. And if you want to learn more about what we are doing at Dora, come talk to us later. Thank you.
I like this business. I have a few questions.
Amazing.
Number one, when I see your team, you need to be used by people. First of all, I want to get a sense of how have you defined your ideal customer? The segmentation of at what point is a customer your target customer for you? That's the one point. And what are you doing about reaching and acquiring and converting those customers?
What we are doing at Dora, first, our customers are local logistics companies that own their riders and are using pen and paper to manage the operations right now.
You have a size number of riders,
we are looking at 5,000 logistics businesses.
No. What I mean is, if a business has up to this number of riders, then it is a potential customer.
You need to have at least 3 riders and at least 9 deliveries daily to be a potential customer at Dora.
Can you go back to the traction slide? Or if you can't go back there, can you break down your traction for us again?
Yes. Our traction, since our launch, we've actually grown over 202%.
No, not
monthly.
Bit by bit. How many customers are you serving?
300 plus logistics businesses on board.
Active?
29 paying. We have 29 paying customers at the moment.
What are they paying on the average?
They are paying every day, every week, an average of 9,000 to 10,000 naira plus a service fee that we've accumulated and a 20,000 naira monthly subscription fee.
Who is your biggest logistics business?
Our biggest logistics company is an e-commerce company that is logistics enabled. They process at least 500 deliveries within 4 days.
Who are they?
Their name is AB Posh, a logistics business owner, e-commerce business owner rather.
So what's revenue to you monthly right now?
Revenue we've done at least between 250 to or over 700K in a month.
700K naira in a month?
Yes.
Direct revenue. All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. I would like to call on our final contestants. And I also have a special announcement to make after this contestants. There's a special little extra bit that we've been told to let you guys know. Please welcome to the stage our last contestants, but certainly not the least, Trash Coin. Give them a round of applause.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's such an honor to stand before visionaries and change makers who are committed to shaping the future of Africa. I am Damilola Daramola, co-founder of TrashCoin. And at TrashCoin, we are digitizing waste recycling across Africa. Do you believe that Africa alone generates over 300 million tons of waste, and less than 10% of this is recycled? This is not just an opportunity that is missed. It is a $23 billion black hole in the economy opportunity. And this is usually caused as a result of poor quality and contamination, lack of recycling infrastructure, lack of incentives for recycling, and lack of transparency or traceability. Usually, this leads to loss of life, wasted economic potential, growing landfills and ocean pollution, killing marine lives, and then inability to access carbon plastic credit. And this is what TrashCoin has come to solve. TrashCoin being the first African eco-fintech solution that uses AI and blockchain to enable users to deposit their recyclable waste on their mobile app and get paid instantly. Even with the use of USSD, you don't have smartphone, it still works. You will be wondering how we intend to solve the problem. First, we built a mobile app. Secondly, we built a business that enables people to get on board and start recycling and make profit from it. And thirdly, our AI blockchain-powered web app connects African recycling ecosystem to the global market for the supply of quality and traceable recycled material. Now you'll be wondering how TrashCoin works. As a user, you come on board on our platform, locate the nearest recycling collector where you go to deposit, and then you get paid. The collector then transfers this recyclable to the local recycler who process this recyclable and export it to the international market. And this international market are able to verify and purchase this clean quality material. That is, all of this happening on TrashCoin platform. In real time, you are able to track the movement of your recyclables. We have key players in this recycling tech space. However, when you study all of their business model, they build a siloed tool which is focused on only a network of they focus on only their own networking system. However, TrashCoin is fundamentally different because we are building something that enables every other person to participate in recycling. We are not competing with any local collector or recycler. We are rather enabling them and empowering them. That is why we stand out. It is also interesting to know we have a very large market size with 18 billion TAM, 27 billion TAM, and 3.6 billion SOM for the plastic market. However, there are other, the market is quite large for other types of recyclables. Our revenue model, we generate revenue model through 4 powerful engines, which is sales of our recycled material, which gives us over 40% profit margin, and then our transaction fees from the each agent, which is about 10%, and then our commission from our third-party service, which are integrated on our platform, and our white label, which we offer. Additional revenue sources are from the plastic carbon credits, which we have monetized, and then the subscription for free data insight. It will interest you to know that our traction has we've piloted our test on the plastic market, which has earned us so much traction, and we've been able to create 700 jobs, paid out over $100,000. We've converted 2.5 million kg, and currently we've earned $1.4 million contracts, which has been secured to supply, and that is why we're currently seeking for $1.5 million to expand our network and then hire core teams and invest in our marketing operations to expand. So this isn't about scalability. It is more about how fast is this going to happen. This is our team, which is a blend of experts in different fields. We are also backed by top organizations that are highly recognized and a board of advisors which have over 30 years of experience. So with TrashCoin, we are inviting you to join us to clean Africa, one coin at a time. Thank you.
Thank you. Really innovative. And just a quick one. In terms of the thing with recycling is it requires quantum of agents, quantum of waste collected. So just walk us through how you would get your agents. What's the minimum size of agents that you need for this to be really scalable?
Thank you very much. First, we understand the market, and we understand it also operates in measures. We have the small-scale recycler and the large-scale recycler. Oftentimes, we regard as, I don't know where that is coming from, but thank you. So oftentimes, we know that homes are usually categorized under the small-scale recycler because they have up to a minimum, let's say a minimum of 10 kg upward. But for a large-scale recycler, they also offer up to like 100 kg upward. And we made the system much more easier such that even without our presence, they can get onboarded on the platform easily. And we only need to reach out to them if they have any challenge with getting on board. So when you're registering, you select the amount of recyclables that you are currently having in your stock, maybe, or you can actually accumulate within a period of time. it's available for you, and then we will be able to categorize you and tell exactly where you stay.
Are you processing the waste?
Yeah, currently we have a buyback facility in Port Harcourt where we process up to like 4 tons per day.
So you move everything to Port Harcourt from?
Yes, yes.
What states are you currently operating in?
We're operating in Port Harcourt and Abuja.
Okay, run us over the numbers again. Your traction.
All right, please, the slide. I'm not seeing it from here, please. All right, thank you. So here, we've been able to divert 2.5 kilogram, and our current revenue is about $375,000, where we have over 800 collection.
Per what? Sorry, per what? 375K per
annually.
Annually.
Yeah. Then over 800 agents currently on our platform, and we have over 13,000 active users. And this has actually earned us an annual supply contract from an organization in the European body, recycling company, where they asked us to supply 150 tons monthly. And that is where we also make our money from.
So you currently export?
We currently export to.
All right. And when did you launch?
It's been 3 years now.
3 years, okay.
Thank you. Yeah, flakes, yes. Flake, yes.
You said you've paid out how much?
I didn't get you.
You've paid out how much already?
Over $106,000.
Okay. All right, thanks.
Thank you very much.
So do you own the plant that does the work?
Yes, yeah, actually, absolutely, yeah. So
and
yeah.
this can. This is great. Can we please
Thank
clap
you.
for this person? But in terms of this contract that you have, how will you meet this contract? This is a large.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So
go for that.
one of the challenges we've also faced is meeting up with the 150,000 tons. But our agent network makes it much more easier. Our approach is decentralizing the old system and then bringing it together and exporting. So it makes it a lot easier for us and achievable.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And that brings us to the end of our pitching competition. Ladies and gentlemen, please give them all a round of applause. It is not an easy thing to come up here and speak about your business, whether you started it 3 months ago, 3 years ago. Give them a round of applause again, please. Well done, you guys. Fantastic job to our 11 contestants. So we are going to give the judges some time to finish putting together their scores for the last contestant. And then we're also going to give our scorekeeper a little bit of time to put together our scores. In the meantime, we're going to go around. I'm going to get some final remarks from the judges once they're done. But is there anyone here who would like to speak on any of the pitches that they saw? What was your favorite thing? Do you have any questions? If you have any questions for any of the contestants, anyone here? Would you like to share on your favorite pitch? Personally, I'm interested in Trash Coin because I am working on a family business myself. We're opening up a recycling center in Ibadan. So looking at those numbers, I definitely understand what they're doing. And I'm very big on green and clean living on, or trying to live a very green life and recycling as much as possible. Anyone here interested in recycling? Anyone? I hope you're recycling your bottles at least. Questions for any of our contestants? Does anyone here have any questions, any comments? I know you guys are hungry. Should I just tell you what the surprise is? Should I just get to it? I'm trying to buy some time with our judges here. So I've been informed that we don't only have a grand prize of 10 million naira for the finalists, for the first position. We also have 2 follow-up prizes. So for third position, there will be a prize of 3 million naira in legal representation by DOA law. And there will be, for the second position, a prize of 5 million naira in legal representation. So if you come first, second, or third, you're going home with something today. All right? Could we have some music while we wait for the judges to wrap up here? Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for lending your expertise. And we're also going to ask that you give us some final remarks, if you could share with the audience anything about the pitching, any advice that you may have. We would love it if each of you spoke. If each of you could please take the mic.
Yeah, it's been a great pitch series. It's incredible, some of the businesses and some of the ideas that people are working on. I know it's quite daunting to bring your business in front of everyone to get it accessed. So I wanted to congratulate, firstly, the presenters for a job well done, for taking the step. And quite frankly, from going through a very rigorous process to get here. So everyone who presented here, in my opinion, is a winner because we've evaluated collectively as judges, I think over 50 businesses. And I think that was a pre-selected list that we had to identify. So the entries was orders of magnitude more than that. So I just wanted to congratulate the businesses. There are a lot of really innovative businesses. There are businesses that I have follow-on conversations. I think the time was too short as a judge to properly evaluate the economics and the opportunities in some of those businesses. But I wanted to congratulate everyone who presented here. I don't know, sorry, am I to reveal who the winner is? No. So thanks everyone for making the time out. It's been a good presentation and I've really enjoyed it, and yeah.
Before someone spoils the surprise, let's move along. This is a great afternoon. I think Africa's problems are many, and just seeing all the different ways and ideas that are coming out to solve these problems, I think it's absolutely amazing. My fellow judge said, we did go through a lot of proposals to get to the 11, I think it's 11 or 10, no, 11 that we viewed today. But the solutions that people are coming up with are just, mind-boggling. Sometimes it takes you out of your comfort zone in your everyday life because you're like, oh, wow, how did they even think of that? But I think that everyone's a winner today. Just think deeply in terms of, I know we didn't get to evaluate that. That would have been great for us to really look at your business model and see where's the money coming from, because unless you're a social enterprise, and then we would advise you how you build a model around that. But if you're a real commercial business, we have to really, where's the money coming from? We all wanted to check how they're going to make money, how they're going to make money. But I just think keep those ideas alive, test them, retest them, revalidate them, and make sure there's something that's scalable. It's very important as well. So, but keep at it. Everyone that participated and other people that are looking to this inaugural pitch competition that DOA has put on, which is great. So thank you.
I'll just say I was very encouraged today. The level of creativity, there were some businesses that I'm like, what? But by the end, I was actually surprised about how positively I felt about them. Also, for those that might have had challenges technically, or even maybe were nervous on stage, man, good job, because all of you found a way to get through. I was very impressed. And regardless of what comes up today, I always say to people, even if it's tough, you learn from it and you do better, right? You pivot. So thank you very much, guys. Good job.
I think they've all said it. Everyone that presented today is a winner. I think that building is very tough. Anyone that has built before knows that. And the real advantage of building anything is that you can take the lessons over to the next thing you build. So I would say that keep your eyes open, let the market teach you. Don't insist on a solution. Don't be a solution in search of a problem. Keep at it, keep your eyes open, keep your ears open, and you definitely land in a good spot.
I'd like to take a moment to recognize our sponsors for today's event. We have WeChart, Zitra, Combase, Sublay, Mentor, Intro Africa, and Premier BN. Please give them all a round of applause. Thank you so much for your contributions in kind, in funds, everything that you've done to make this event possible today. Now we are going to get on to announcing the winners for today's pitch competition. Are you guys excited? Are you ready? You guys are not ready. Are you excited? Are you ready to know who won the pitch competition? Yes, okay, you guys are ready to go home. And you're probably hungry too. All right, do we have all the contestants here? All of you here? Yes? All right, could I please have Miss Simisala Sami up on the stage? Please give her a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you, Ma. From what I know of, we don't have a physical prize for third and second, but we definitely do have for first. So we do want to do a handshake and pictures for second and for third. So if you do hear me call you up for second and third, please come up and make sure you get your handshake and your pictures, all right? So for third place, winning the prize of 3 million naira in legal representation from DOA law, we have Pay You! Pay You, where are ya? Please come up. Congratulations. Can we have our photographers? Yes. Oh, you know what? I'm going to stand over here. I'll stay here. All right. It's on now.
Okay. On behalf of the entire law firm of Dwale, Ovia, and Alex-Adedipe, as well as our sponsors for the pitch competition, congratulations.
Thank you. Coming up in second position, the winner of 5 million naira in legal services from DOA, we have Cryptor. If you guys remember, she did it without her presentation. She turned that thing off and did her entire presentation, her entire pitch without it. Congratulations, Cryptor.
Congratulations. On behalf of the entire law firm of Dwale, Ovia, and Alex-Adedipe, congratulations. Looking forward to working with you. Congratulations.
All right. Grace, do we want to bring it out, or does it come out? Or how do you guys want to do it? You bring it, okay? So that they know it's real. The big check. We have seats. Is it ready? Is it ready? Okay. All right. So without any more wasting of time, because I know you guys are hungry, you want to get going. It is an honor to announce the winner of the maiden edition of the pitch competition at the 4th annual TMT Business Series pitching competition. First place, we have winning 10 million naira today, Trash Coin!
To be the best, number one and nothing less. Stand up for the champions, for the
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Trash Coin to the stage. Give him a round of applause.
Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up.
Congratulations.
Stand up for the champions, for the champions.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. It's with great pleasure that I want to congratulate you on this. It was a tough one, bearing in mind that you came towards the latter end, but your pitch was very, very convincing. So once again, on behalf of the partners, the planning committee, and all of the sponsors of this year's annual business series, as well as the pitch competition, congratulations on winning the first prize of the very, very first pitch competition organized during the 4th TMT series of DOA. Congratulations once again.
Thank you so much. We get all the pictures. Do we need pictures with the partners? I believe so. Yes. Do you want to stay there? Could we please have the partners come up to take pictures with our first place winner? And then I think after that we'll have the second and third. Yes. And the judges, of course. Yes, please. And we'll also have the judges join in the pictures. All right, we'll have these pictures first, and then we'll have the judges join in. And Chika, are you in the room? Chika. Wonderful. Can we please have the judges come up? Please give them a round of applause. Thank you so much for your contributions today and the days before. Chika, come to the stage for the closing address. Chika. In the meantime, judges, if you don't mind, could we get a picture of the four of you, please? On the stage, apologies, up here. And can we please have our second and third place winners please get ready on the side. You'll join the judges up for a picture in a moment. But judges first, please, your picture. And first place, Trash Coin. We're going to need you for a picture back up here with your big check. You can't take your pictures without the check. Yeah, you're going to need to come back with a check. All right, could we please also have first, second, and third place please come up and take pictures with the judges? Cryptor and Payu. Did Payu leave already? I think Payu may have left. Please go ahead, join your judges and take pictures. I think Payu may have left. Are you sure? So humble. A lot of green on the stage, a lot of money on the stage. Okay. Are we good? Wonderful. It looks like Chika is... I'm looking for Chika for the closing address, please. Okay, Grace. One moment, please. Can we please have all the finalists on stage? All the finalists from the pitching competition who are still here. We want you to take pictures. First, second, third, all the finalists, please. Your pictures will be in a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Grace Ama onto the stage for the closing remarks. Please give her a round of applause.
Good afternoon once again, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. as we draw the curtain on this edition of the TMT Business Series, we extend our heartfelt appreciation to all who made our gathering a resounding success. Your engagement and shared commitment to advancing Nigeria's digital economy have truly enriched our conversations, highlighted the importance of collaboration in shaping the future of innovation. This year's theme, Beyond the Startup Frenzy, Building the Infrastructure for a Digital Nigeria, reflects the collective shift towards sustainable, inclusive growth. Through candid dialogue, expert insights, and robust exchanges, we have reaffirmed the imperative to build the systems, policies, and partnerships that would outlive this convening and drive long-term resilience in our digital ecosystem. On behalf of the partner, the firm of Dwale, Ovia, and Alex-Adedipe, we say thank you very much for attending the 4th annual business series of Dwale, Ovia, and Alex-Adedipe. We hope to welcome you this time next year. Have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you very much. Okay, we have a wonderful spread outside to host you to a wonderful lunch. So please help yourselves out and enjoy the closeout of the day. Thank you.
Thank you. Finalists, please stay behind so we can get your pictures. But everyone else, you may exit the hall for your lunch. Thank you.
Kwaze kwamnandi kulomhlaba ngicela Nkosi ungangithathisa semncane nami ngifuna ukuphuza masinyane ngizudala ngishadisa lenaye.
Finalists, can we please have you on stage for your pictures?
It's good, it's nice.
If you're looking for your AirPods, please, if you're looking for your AirPods or your buds for your ears. Yeah? They're yours? Okay. Found the owner. Thank you. If you're looking for your AirPods, buds, please come and see me.
I drop my number in case if
Yes, I'm trying to tell you which one.
let me see Samuel, the smallish guy.
Okay, yeah.
So I'll give
Ungangithathisa semncane nami ngifuna ukuphuza masinyane ngibizudala ngishade ngihlale naye kwaze kwamnandi kulomhlaba ngicela Nkosi ungangithathisa semncane nami ngifuna ukuphuza masinyane ngibizudala ngishade ngihlale naye kwase kwamnandi.
Lula me